Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken, the Real Estate DAO, and this is one of my favorite live streams of the week, hanging out here with the core team, and we are planning our winning strategy for the upcoming week. Now, that being said, we do have Thanksgiving coming up next week, and we already agreed to have this core team planning session, but we won't host our normal community call on Wednesday, and we'll decide here at the end of this. So everybody that's on here, thanks for participating. I'm just going to go down the list, and I don't think that you can see it right here right now, and this is one of the things that I'm working on getting better at. I do love that Blurs has his camera out, and I don't know if that shows up, but I do have Blurs Day is on video. We have also Coopster, Tyler, D-Sign, and Amy pretending to be some random Zoom user with us. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us here on the core team. We've got a lot of agenda planned for today's weekly planning, and I'm going to hop right in here. So this is our Trello card. I'm going to, before I zoom this in, Trello is how we get things done here at REtoken. So I have some opportunities, and this is one of the things I'm going to be doing here later this afternoon, is going through some of these tasks to earn REtoken. One of the things that I do have already planned is a REtoken airdrop for later tonight. That's one of the fun things that I've been doing to distribute the REtoken, and that normally happens once or twice a week, and that's just our ongoing commitment to get REtoken out to everybody that's participating here in our community as expeditiously as possible. So keeping on going through the agenda, let me make this bigger so that everybody can see it on the screen and the live stream a little bit better. 300% seems to be the sweet spot for that. And we've got lots of DAO business. So one of the things here to hop right in, we have been doing a weekly treasury distribution proposal. And one of the things that happened a little bit differently about this one, and this is in line with our something that I mentioned already, our ongoing commitment to get REtoken out sooner. I changed the formatting for the official proposal. And here's the Trello card, and I'm wanting to actually just switch over here to our organization, our space on snapshots. So we have, let me see if I'm connected here. So just connect my wallet real quick. So here are the spaces, and I'll make this a little bit bigger. So REtoken, and if you are a REtoken holder, it doesn't automatically join you to the space. You can click on the join here. You can do a search on Snapshot for REtoken. We also have our project listed on Boardroom, and I'll hop right in here to the proposals that we have on Boardroom. So Boardroom provides the same functionality as Snapshot and some additional dynamics. So won't go into detail on this, but Boardroom is probably easier to use, and I'll let you all decide. Again, it provides the same functionality. So this one that talking about here is TDP 11. TDP stands for Treasury Distribution Proposal. And let's make this bigger here on the screen. So here's, and I'm going to zoom out real quick. So when I created this proposal, I created this earlier today, and with the timing, one of the things that is nice about Snapshot is that we have complete control over the proposal start and end dates. And I created this proposal to run through December 1st. December 1st is actually when our next REtoken community call will be. We normally host our community call at 7 and then go live at 7:15 Eastern time. So this will give some opportunity for us to talk about these proposals. So one of the things that's different about this is more of a summary of the airdrops that have already occurred for this particular week. So we have a great, and I'll bring it over here so that everybody can see it. This is our Google Sheet that we keep a running summary of. Everybody on the core team has access to this. And again, we've got the transaction records. So that's another way. And show this from occasionally here, like when doing the airdrops, that's something that I'm normally working off. And again, we'll have some more details for the upcoming airdrop. This is the airdrop that did most recently. This was a pretty large one. Like we did the token count participation, dropped on that line item 5,000. And there's still some additional opportunities, or not necessarily opportunities, but just some additional REtoken that will be distributed. And let me show everybody that real quick on some of these tasks over here. That's some of these red items. So this hopefully will be largely cleaned up here when I do some of these REtoken airdrops later tonight during the live stream. So wanted to go back here to the proposal for this week. And this one's a little differently too, because this also has, and I don't know if it shows it. So this is one of the things that I was curious about here. And let me make this a little bit smaller so it doesn't. So one of the things that was different about this one, and let me go into our space here on Snapshot. So this is TDP 11 that I'm speaking about. So on this one, I used a ranked choice voting. We have different voting methodologies within Snapshot, and this is one of the things that I like talking about and like exploring. I think this is actually our first proposal where we have a different, I think all of our previous proposals have used single choice. So this one's a little bit different. And this one, again, this proposal is also a little different because the REtoken airdrops have already occurred for this specific. So this is just to some good housekeeping. This falls in line with our full transparency founding principle. And then this is also just a way to have for people to exercise their voice here, because that's one of the things where we're going to have a upcoming proposal very soon that's going to incentivize voting through a UMA KPI option. And we'll have more. We've been talking about that a lot in the past, and we'll be talking about that more. So this is broken down here on this particular weekly treasury distribution proposal, and this is week 43. Now, to put it in a time frame reference, right now we are in week 46. So this is for activities that occurred previously, like right here. The date for this particular line item was 26th October 2021. So all of these items in this treasury distribution proposal are pertaining to this particular week, week 43. To provide a little understanding, it also has a link to the Polygon where the airdrop occurred, and then the Trello card. As I said, Trello is the system that we use for getting things done. So this particular proposal has 4 line items, 4 events that we rewarded REtoken in week 43. So, and then one of the things here, and this is just to kind of make things easier where you can see some of our historical proposals. This is a link to the previous proposal or related proposals. So I'm going to actually go ahead and vote on this here for everybody's benefit. This proposal I just created earlier, and I'll be the first person that's actually voting on this proposal here live right now. So, and this is, again, you have the opportunity of doing ranked choice, and this will come into play because we're going to use this here in another proposal as we move through this DAO business. But I'm going to go ahead and do both yes and no, because why am I doing no also? Well, we need something better. This is a very manual process, and want better tools for distributing the REtoken. So hopefully that we can move forward something, because to like create this proposal here and, you know, with the links and stuff like that. It gets easier, but it just makes it, anyway, it's a very manual process and I want something better. So that's one of the reasons that I did a ranked choice voting on this. And again, I like playing around with various voting methodologies that we have and I'll show you when we get to our next one. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and vote on this. And this will cast my vote, and then I'll have to sign the little MetaMask guy. It doesn't work very well on full screen, so here it is. I had to bring it forward. So, and one of the things that's fabulous about Snapshot, if everybody, it's off chain. So the thing that is wonderful about Snapshot is that it doesn't cost me anything to vote. So I don't completely understand how all of that magic works where it's off chain. But what happens is whenever it creates some snapshot, and this is the block number that it did the snapshot off of. So anybody that was a REtoken holder as of this particular block number is able to participate in this. So like the people, if there's some new REtoken holders that become REtoken holders through the airdrop that I do later tonight on the live stream, unfortunately, you won't be able to vote in this particular proposal, but that's okay anyway, because this particular proposal was for week 43, and we've already done the airdrops for everything that was talked about in here anyway. So that being said, does anyone want to chime in here that's on the core team call as far as this shift? And I'm going to bring open in another tab what our previous treasury distribution proposal looked like here for week 42 and then mute myself and let everybody else chime in on this week 43 TDP. And that was TDP 11, right? Yes, TDP 11. Anyway, I'm stop talking.
Just to clarify, so the motivation for the ranked choice was to just mess with it, to try it out.
Yeah, and then also like, you know, give people the opportunity. I mean, because like the thing about this proposal is that these airdrops have already occurred. So this is, again, this proposal is more of just some good housekeeping, playing around with our proposal process, and then just until we get a better system in place, I like and don't mind doing this weekly accounting methodology. And this also will provide some additional motivation for getting something else in place that's more sustainable, scalable, and that people love. Because I have little to no expectations that somebody else would adhere to like this framework that doing for this weekly treasury distribution proposal, how I'm executing it right now. And I don't know if that was a lot of rabble or if any of that makes sense, but.
No, that works. Yeah, I'm just reading through the proposal right now.
And like I said, Blurs, it's more of a summation of what was being done. And this is, again, like the one here, TDP 10 is the one that I've got on the screen right now. And this breaks down like one of the things for those people that may or may not be aware, we have a very consistent methodology that we've used in distributing all of the REtoken that we've distributed thus far. And I've got this, and I don't know how well the people can see it, but this we've done all of our airdrops on the coinvice.co social token platform. And one of the things, I'll actually bring that open in a window too, because that's worth taking a look at. But one of the things that I like about their, this is our REtoken Google Calendar.
Just while you're pulling that up, just FYI, Boardroom doesn't seem to support the ranked choice voting.
And that's one of the things that I was concerned about and wanted to explore here more. So like where I was going with that. And yeah, like that's what I was kind of observing there also, Blurs. So, and getting ready to do another ranked choice one. We're actually going to be creating that during the core team call here. And while I'm getting this in here, this password in the browser, the one that wanting to do today is a ranked choice voting on the bank / crypto accounts, business accounts for REtoken, like categorically, like Coinbase, Kraken, Avanti Bank, Gate.io. So that's one where I was wanting to use. I'm not sure why that this isn't working here. I don't know if it's even. Oh, I know why. I was copying the wrong. Copying the wrong one. Third time's the charm, right? So anyway, I don't even know if I needed to be logged in, but here's the REtoken page on Coinvice. And what I was wanting to show on this is that it shows the description here whenever we do the airdrop. So I don't exactly know where that goes in, if that's just a database or a line item, but it's just a platform that we minted our social tokens on that has the airdrop capability on it. And it's what we've been using thus far. This is the REtoken DAO.eth MetaMask wallet that I've got on the screen, which has currently 0.1272 Ethereum. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent here during this agenda. So we were talking about the, let me get this off the screen, take this one off. We were going through our proposal there. This one, the TDP 11 has the ranked choice voting. And let me make this a little bit smaller because I don't think it shows. Oh, there we go. Now it shows up. So voting system was ranked choice voting. And everybody else can vote on that on their own time. We've got a long time to vote on that. Like I said, that's something that we'll talk about on the upcoming community call on December the 1st as well. Give people one opportunity to do that. So this was where I was wanting to actually go through and create the proposal for week 44, which will be TDP 12. And I've got the card over here ready. And if somebody wants to speak to this while I'm just copying and pasting and going through the process, or I can just talk through the process. Anyway. I'm muted right now. I'm going to create the proposal here for TDP 12. So one of the things here on this proposal, one of the reasons that I like doing it in Trello is that it supports Markdown. One of the things that changed fairly recently here is that Snapshot used to auto preview. So like here, just copied, this is the header, the title, the question, I guess. And this is the format been using, have an overview and then a vote section. I'm actually going to make this a main header instead of a subsection. So, and one of the things, and this is what I was talking about, you have to click on the little magnifying glass over here when creating a proposal on Snapshot, and this lets you preview it. So this is, again, just the copy and paste from the Trello Markdown. And I had this little quote box here. Note, this is a ranked choice voting type This means that you can select both options and prioritize selections. Yanks will speak to this during upcoming core team and community calls, which is what I'm doing right now. So that's the preview, and this bottom section is functionally well, no, this is actually the breakdown here of the treasury distributions that occurred for week 44, which now will correspond to TDP number 12. And then this appendix that I was talking about here, the prior 2021 TDP and related proposals. So this one, since I had already created TDP 11 that I was just speaking of, included this here. And like I mentioned earlier, we are in week 46. So going back, clicking on the little arrow here, this is again the magnifying glass, how you switch from preview to inputting the actual text. So select the start date. So we'll just do today, and we'll use 1 p.m. So I don't know if you have to put military time, but that's I did. So end date, we'll do the December 1st again. And I think I had 10 p.m. on that, which is 2200. Select, and we are changing this to the ranked choice voting. So, and this is a good, let me scroll through this list: single choice voting, approval voting, quadratic voting, ranked choice voting, weighted voting, basic voting. So, and I think normally have single choice voting, which is probably the same as basic voting. So we can talk more about that another time. Right now, like I said, doing the ranked choice voting, and this will come in more on the next one that's going to be creating for the bank crypto account options. So here, let me copy and paste these voting options into the choices here. This is too long on and I can't remember if my other one was too long. So see right here where it says minus 740, I think I'm over 740 characters over the limit. And I don't know if it automatically just crops it. Let me look at this one here. No, this is the TDP 11. And maybe this one is a little bit longer for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I had more details in whatever. Well, I did add week 46. Anyway, I'll just take off the, I'll see if it even matters on that and just let it crop it off automatically, or if it'll throw an error. So let's see, we're all learning together here all the time. So there's the two choices, and Teresa is here, so she can join. So let's see, ranked choice voting, November 20th, 1 p.m., December 1st, 10 p.m., TDP 12. This is for week 44. And I will click on publish. Maybe, let's see. It looks like it wants it to be shorter. So I will take off this other section here.
Wait, so what are all the details in here that we got?
It's just some stuff that I prepared. I think that it's just making reference to whatever the item was that was the airdrop for on that particular line item. So this was just me doing some good accounting to make it easy for people to see.
But do we have to go back so many weeks for the snapshot? I guess I'm missing something fundamental here.
When you say go back so many weeks for the snapshot, I don't understand.
Well, I mean,
that question.
I mean, this is showing stuff going back several weeks in this.
Oh, so that's an appendix. That's an appendix there, Blurs. So this right here, this prior 2021. So this is just for reference, and I can change that to say for reference only.
I guess. I mean, do we need that in here then?
We don't need it. I can take it out right now if everybody thinks that it's redundant.
Well, if we're having issues with space, I
no,
so.
And that's absolutely what I was going to chop off was a portion of that section right there.
Yeah, I don't think each proposal needs to contain a ledger of all previous events.
All right, well, let's just nix that whole section. See how easy
Yes.
that is? We get things done here all the time, including during our core team weekly calls. So that whole section is removed, simplified, shorter, and this has just the relevant details in here for this week. Boom, done. Okay, publish. Now see, look, the button is nice and blue. We have TDP number 12 is live here momentarily whenever the little circle gets done spinning. So keeping on with the agenda, we only have 15 minutes left. So let's see, this is the previous one. Let me get back to today's core team call. All right, so that was creating the proposal. Look how slow we're going. So I totally misbudgeted here for this time, but I think that was important to talk about because that was a fairly decent shift as far as the way that we'd been doing the treasury distribution proposals in the past. And I like that we cleaned it up there. So that was a solid recommendation. Thank you for that, Blurs. And so the other one that I created here is RIP number 8. And gonna not talk about this one too much. This was a single choice voting like that we've used in the past. And this is basically to move along. We've already been having conversations about the ambassadors program, and this is just to formalize it with an official proposal here for everybody. So I don't think that we need to talk about that, and those efforts will continue to move forward. And that's shown very clearly here. We have a TBD on the events REtoken DAO Trello for an ambassadors working group. And I don't know if we necessarily need to focus on getting that scheduled right now. I think that that's something that we can itemize for an upcoming core team call, especially with Thanksgiving coming up here this next week. So we'll have more conversations about the ambassadors program. Super excited about that. And then to keep going here with our agenda, let me make this bigger because I might be on this screen a little bit. Okay, so that was item number 3 on DAO business. So add the Reg CF offering to Trello roadmap. So this is just a super quick little thing here, and wanted to do that to get it officially on our roadmap. So let me close this. And what I did here is the card that we had been running this, and this is and the RIP 5. For people that may not know, RIP is a REtoken improvement proposal, and that follows the best practices or most proposals in the governance process within the crypto space are an IP improvement proposal. And this is just, so what we're gonna do here, just move this over to the board roadmap right here, and we're going to put it on the Q3 list for 2022, and I'll bring that in another tab so that you all can see, because love showing the roadmap. This is something that we've been talking a little bit about during our white paper working groups for the white paper, and this is our first thing. So super excited. This lane was empty until just now, and I'm actually going to I'll do the screenshot later, but this is something that I want to tweet about. This is definitely a solid milestone. One of the things that I think very much separates us from some of the other crypto projects that may be pursuing real estate tokenization, is that we're very intentional about securities regulations and adhering so that we can increase the confidence when we're looking to do tokenized real estate deals. So super excited that we now officially have that on the official REtoken roadmap. And one of the things too that we're looking to do, and I'm going to digress momentarily. This is one of my favorite tangents that I go on quite a bit. But this is relevant because we've been having conversations about our white paper. We're going to have our white paper or a light paper here on our Gitbook page. And this is got some solid content in it, and it's only going to have better content as we continue to focus here on Gitbook as a team and community at REtoken. So keeping on with the agenda, we are running low on time. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we talk about here today, so let me make this bigger for everybody. So we did get item number 4 on DAO business done, add the Reg CF offering to the Trello roadmap. So additional roadmap items. This is something, as I mentioned, that we're talking about in the white paper working groups. And this is a great opportunity for everybody to review what is currently on the Trello roadmap for REtoken, potentially move some things like, and this is just some of the house cleaning items. I'm going to minimize this and show the main Trello board. So we have this milestones list here. There might be an opportunity to move some of these items. So just be thinking about that as we're just doing some house cleaning and other stuff for REtoken. The opportunity again to potentially move some of these milestones over there, potentially propose through our proposal process some additional things that we can add to our roadmap. And the roadmap is something that we can and should be intentional about working towards to help us keep in focus on the things that we're working on here as a team together at REtoken. So keeping on with the agenda, I think that was item number 5 on DAO business, additional roadmap items. And this is the main one that wanting to make sure that we get some attention on here is creating REtoken improvement proposal 9, banking and crypto accounts, fiat on and off ramps. So this is a Trello card that made to kind of summarize the situation and the opportunity. To put this in, we already had some conversations on this on the previous core team call, and we also had conversations in Discord via this thread. These conversations go all the way back to November 7th, so really 2 weeks ago. So these conversations have been ongoing, and this is the time that we need to move these conversations forward, because hopefully we'll receive some sort of determination on the Hero X American-made solar prize that we submitted on the hardware track and the software track for round 5 of the American-made solar prize. And that's where I am very confident that the U.S. Department of Energy, or wherever those funds will be paid from, will not be sending us to some crypto wallet. So we need to have some mechanism for supporting that through a REtoken DAO LLC account. So the 5 opportunities that we've spoken about before. So let me just read through this here. So this is and this is intended to copy and paste. Let me make this full screen, and oh, that's the wrong thing to make full screen. So full screen and make this a little bit bigger. There we've got the 300%. So overview, problem, REtoken needs to have a crypto on-ramp from any fiat proceeds received, i.e. Hero X, American-made solar. That's what I just spoke to. Goal, have a single bank account that can receive ACH wire transfers and then on-ramp that into an agreed upon cryptocurrency that can be immediately transferred into a REtoken Gnosis safe multi-sig treasury wallet. So proposal, I propose that we open business accounts at, I've got some verbiage here. I propose that we open business accounts at these banks exchanges. So, and this is where looking to utilize that ranked choice voting for these 5 business account options. So these are ones that we've spoken about before. I don't know if we've actually spoken about. There was some Discord conversation about uphold.com. Uphold.com is who has the partnership with brave.com. That's one of the, anyway, it sounds like that they have some capabilities there. And the thoughts on this are to open the accounts, and right now prioritized 2, and that is Avanti Bank and uphold.com. And that I'm gonna stop talking and let everybody chime in on this before start the process of creating this official proposal on Snapshot, RIP9 banking and crypto accounts. So go ahead, anybody that wants to chime in on this conversation before I create this official proposal on Snapshot.
What I think we need is like maybe a table or something that shows the advantages and disadvantages of each. Like, for example, Kraken can't support ACH transfers, Coinbase can. Kraken seems to be more in tune with DeFi and whatnot, though. So at least in the spirit of the company. So I don't know. We need some way to compare them all. I didn't see Dharma on there, which was another option too.
So here,
yeah.
and I'll add that. So here's the thoughts blurs, is that we don't have to settle on one. There's no cost to initiate the process, and it does take time for the account to get open. So I absolutely agree with you that we should create a table. And like one of the things that I've done within this RIP9 is also broke down. Actually, I didn't include it. Let me bring that into the verbiage on here. So let's see, transferring of funds. I'll add this here into an additional section.
Hey, babe, do we have a tax policy yet?
No, we don't have any policies except for like a code of conduct on GitHub. So this let me speak to this transferring of funds, because the tax conversation is a whole very different conversation than just a on off ramp for fiat, because that's functionally what we're talking about here. So transferring of funds, I added this as an additional section on here. Any transferring of funds in or out of this newly created, and I'll put this in plural here, newly created accounts. And because one of the things too, let me break this into this here. At these 2 banks, exchanges, phase proposal. Let's do this like this. Phase 1, phase 2. Let me move this up here. Create a table comparison matrix that summarizes the features, benefits of each account. This can be done in preparation of an upcoming core team call. And let me add the one that you were talking about here too, is it, am I spelling that right? Dharma, DHARMA.io.
Let's see. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. And let me just duplicate one of these.
I'll put a link to it in the chat box.
Oh, thanks, Teresa. It is on a .io, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So, and the thought on these additional ones in like the phase 1 and 2 here is that so that we can get the account, because my experience is that it's normally like a week to anywhere from 3 to 7 days to get the documentation approved for this. And the need of getting it opened up is sooner from a time standpoint, because this is something that we haven't decided on our move forward thus far.
Yeah, and I think it should probably be 2 votes, because one would be the fiat account and the other one would be the on-ramp account.
Potentially, and that's the goal here, is if we can have the same account, the need of simplifying it and the less that we have to move transactions. I mean, because like that's, I don't know if we're there yet, and that's one of the things that we can find out through this process. So, and one of the things too is that we're going to create a separate proposal. Like, let me make this bigger so it's easy for everybody to see on the screen and on the replay, if we have anybody watching the replay of this at a later date and time. So the proposal here is ranked choice voting for these 5 business account options. Create a table comparison matrix that summarizes the features, benefits of each account. This can be done in preparation of an upcoming core team call. So phase 1 is, I propose that we open business accounts at 2 banks exchanges, Avanti Bank and Uphold.com. Avanti Bank, to provide a little additional context, and this is something that Amy researched, and it's shown up on my radar in previous conversations, but it's the bank that Caitlin Long is the CEO of in Wyoming, and Caitlin Long is a strong advocate within the crypto space as far as, so I don't know what that process is going to look like for Avanti Bank. And the reason that I put Uphold.com here is that this may provide the goal here, and again, have a single bank account that can receive, so that we don't have to transfer it from a bank account then to a crypto account and then to somewhere else. Ideally, we should be able, and I don't know if those accounts exist yet. So we will see here. So for phase 1, this will be a start. And then for phase 2, and let me add the Trello card. I didn't get that link. I'll grab that real quick. And then we'll have more data as far as what this proposal looks like between now and this upcoming core team call. I do love comparison matrix. That's something that I've done when making decisions. And again, this is something that we can have multiple options for at this point in time. Having multiple options is better than no options, and we do need to move this conversation forward. So does that sound like a fair method of on this proposal?
Yeah.
And let me get this link here for, oh, I brought it up here.
Teresa put in a couple, I believe, bank, or actually the Dharma, which we already put in, but then Finsley or something as another. I'm not sure if that's a bank or a crypto exchange.
Well, and it's something that we can add to the list and speak of. We're already at over the time. The question is, do we want to go ahead and go through this process now? I do want to be respectful of everybody's time here on a Sunday leading into the Thanksgiving holiday. So I'm quite okay proceeding getting this proposal created for our benefit. It's something that I'm going to create if we don't do it now on the live stream, it's something that I'll do at the closure so that we can move this forward. Let me scroll through this other agenda here real quick. So that was item number 6, obtain a DUNS number. I'll just move that forward through the normal process. That's again something that I think that we should do. We can move that conversation to Discord. And go ahead, Blurs.
I was going to propose that. Yeah.
And then I wanted to give D-Sign the opportunity. This is something that came up on our working group, and let me make this bigger here. where he can speak about a proposal that he was working on for creating a more dev-friendly situation. So over to you, Design, to speak on that.
Hey team. So we have this situation where there's like a Gitcoin bounty or a hackathon or something like that, and there might be some people on the team that are interested in learning the technologies behind DAO management or just blockchain technology. And we want to provide an incentive for them to develop technologies on behalf of REtoken. So what I'm proposing is that we put a standard forth where a individual or a team that wants to pursue a bounty on behalf of the DAO can submit the name of the bounty, the URL, the bounty, a description of it, a description of how it serves the DAO, like what part of this bounty or what part of the technology that's being developed will actually further the mission of the DAO, a list of participants, and then a kind of expected pay for each participant and a role that each participant is going to perform. With that, they also need to include how much money or how much of the bounty will be sent to the DAO, just to make sure that all funds are being accounted for. And I'm going to post this up in Snapshot. I don't know how many days it should be up, but I would like to put a link to it in the general chat just to have some discussion about it too.
Well, on the proposal process, let's run it through Discord, because that's where we can do the temp check, and then we can also have any of the conversation, because that functions as our forum mechanism. So create just a thread over here, and if you need any help on creating the thread in the voting proposals section over here, and let's let that run. And if there's any immediate opportunity that you want to create on, like, I know that we're in the DAO open lanes, and this is where that came forward, was having some solid conversation and looking at some opportunity to participate in that. So if that's something that, but does that make sense, Design, as far as creating the thread on the voting proposals?
Yeah.
Okay, and we can have a side conversation if there's a specific, because I also am aware that the DAO Global Hackathon is underway, and any other opportunities too, whether it's that hackathon or other hackathons, or any opportunity that can bring some additional exposure or opportunities to REtoken that sound like it's aligned with what we're wanting to do here. Start those conversations in the opportunities channel here on, and this isn't for you, Design, I'm just putting this out there to anybody else that may be watching or listening right now. So I think that proposal sounds amazing, and we definitely want to foster a development-friendly environment, especially if it's an opportunity, like you said, that can benefit the REtoken community. There's lots of efforts being spent in the entire crypto community right now to improve DAO tooling. DAOs already have a lot of momentum here in 2021, and they're going to continue to have a lot of momentum, even more so in 2022 with the foundation that's being laid. So thank you for bringing that proposal forward. Just to let you know too, we do incentivize through the proposal process. That I'll talk more about that offline, or if anybody wants to understand how and when I say incentivize that with REtoken, and can talk more about that later. Again, wanting to be respectful of everybody's time, maximizing and getting back to the agenda here. So there's been some conversation. We actually held a REtoken clubhouse. I think that was the first clubhouse. I'm not going to allocate 5 minutes to talk about this. White paper working group, we've got our next one already on the calendar for the following week, and it's on here for November 30th. That's Tuesday after the holiday break. We felt that would be a good time to step back right in and continue the conversations to move the white paper, light paper forward. And there's a couple opportunities. This is something that I sent an announcement out earlier, and the opportunity to vote on that is concluding here. Speaking about this one last time, there's 3 things. Check the announcements channel on Discord. If you hurry up and vote on this, if you haven't already, it might be, and it doesn't matter whether it's yes or no, you're going to get 5 REtoken for each one that you participate on. We want things to be open and heard where everybody, and whether you vote yay or nay, it would be even more fabulous if you shared why that you voted yay or nay. We've spoken about those during the working group. Don't want to allocate any more time, but gonna provide here a very small window of time if anybody wants to chime in here before we bring this core team planning call to a close. We're already 7 minutes past. Thanks everybody for hanging out here on Sunday. Week 47 is starting on Monday. This is week 46 and things are coming to a close here, but I'm going to stop talking and let other people chime in while we're bringing this to a close here today.
I just want to make mention that Doc's going to train me how to do the degen bot for the POAP drop, and I'm making one for today too. So that will be 3 POAPs we're gonna drop as soon as he teach me how to do it. So if you don't get yours and you're here today, just DM me, because sometimes it's hard for me to know who attended. Thank you. This is Amy, by the way.
Thank you so much for leading the initiative on our POAPs. We are a POAP loving community here. It just provides one additional mechanism for rewarding those that are plugging in and participating. Proof of attendance protocol is what POAP stands for. And that reminded me, Amy, I know that we had a side conversation, and this is something that we both agreed to on a side conversation, and wanted to recognize Dax for the efforts that he put forward in getting the degen bot set up. And this is something that we're going to be dropping you, Dax, 100 REtoken here. That'll drop during the airdrop that I'll be doing later tonight. So thank you, Dax, for getting the degen bot set up for the POAP distribution. And thank you, Amy, for taking the initiative on getting the POAP events created here for the past couple of weeks. So any other final thoughts before we bring it here to a wrap? I will take the silence as a no. Thank you, everybody, for all that you are doing. Super, super excited. I don't know how many times this is a challenge out to any of the audio geeks out there. Challenge you to count how many times that I said super excited during today's core team call. And I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if we see that show up on a new Blur's Day Nick's name in our Discord, because I am definitely super excited about all that we're creating here at REtoken, the Real Estate DAO, and the foundation that we're laying for creating more opportunities for people to participate in real estate, either as investors in tokenized real estate deals. That's a much longer conversation, but thanks again, everybody. Have an amazing holiday time with friends and family coming up here this next week. And we'll take the conversation as far as, since we're already almost 10 minutes over here, 11 minutes, we'll take the conversation as far as a core team call for next Sunday offline. And again, thanks everybody. Have a great week.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.